Welcome back to Arise News Hour. I'm Charles Anyegolu. Now, Sudan has taken further steps in its transition towards civilian rule with the swearing in of a new sovereign council to be followed by the appointment of a prime minister. The body replaces the transitional military council that took charge after months of deadly street protests brought down longtime ruler Omar al-Bashir in April. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, who already headed the council, was sworn in as the chairman of the new Sovereign Council earlier today. It's the first time that Sudan is not under full military rule since Omar al-Bashir's coup d'etat in 1989.
I am dissatisfied with the appointment of Mr. Taha Othman as a member of the Sovereign Council, as he was a member of the former regime. This is a civil state and a technocrat government. Therefore, we do not accept him as a member of the Sovereign Council.
All the people are happy and satisfied. But if anything happens, and if we did not see anything new or evolution being achieved, we will surely hold another revolution and topple the council, same as we did with Omar al-Bashir.
All members have been agreed upon by either the Sudanese people, the military council, or the forces of freedom and change. Now we can say that people are satisfied with what happened.
Well, for more on the unfolding events in Sudan, I'm joined now by the African Affairs analyst and publisher of Africa Briefing, John Ofei Ansah. Good to see you there, John. So quite a big day for Sudan. Are a lot of Sudanese pinning high hopes on this new sovereign council to put the country back on track?
Yes, this is clearly a victory, for people's power. I mean, the people, have been relentless, and finally they are seeing the dawn of a new era in Sudan. But more, is yet to come. I mean, the task ahead, is much greater, than what, they went through before.
Yes, absolutely. I think many people would agree. But is there also concern and perhaps worry that the military are still part of the new sovereign council?
Well, in the interest of peace, in the interest of national cohesion, yes, the military will have to be included. I mean, it's nothing unique, to Sudan. It's happened before in other parts of Africa. And even then, I mean, the sovereign council, as it is composed now, it's it is 6 civilians and 5 military. And their role is mainly ceremonial. They are not going to wield any executive powers. It will be exercised by the executive council that will be headed by the former UN economist Abdallah Hamdok, who was nominated by the civilians.
And, I mean, does the Sovereign Council, and indeed the Prime Minister, who will eventually be sworn in, do they have ultimate power in Sudan, or will the military remain the real power controlling things from behind the scenes?
I strongly doubt if the military will be, the puppet master controlling, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Though, like I said earlier, the Sovereign Council, which was inaugurated today, have no real powers. Their role will be just ceremonial, overseeing, the task of the executive power. So actually, the real power lies with the Executive Council, which is to be inaugurated maybe tomorrow or by the end of this week. And then, like I said earlier on, the head of the Executive Council, who will be the Prime Minister, was actually dominated by the civilians. Having said that, the military will hold the security portfolios of interior and defense, but the rest of the portfolios will be composed of technocrats.
Right. So, I mean, I don't want to. I don't mean to sort of belabor the point, but in theory, then the Prime Minister and the cabinet will have authority over the military. Is that right?
Yes, more or less. So yes, that they should have in the grand scheme of things as they are now. I believe the executive will hold sway over the military. Got to mention that there's going to be a three-member legislative assembly composed mainly of civilians. So that the executive council plus the legislative council composed of civilians will actually hold sway over the military.
Right, but I mean, it is fair to say that it's not going to be a smooth road because the military who have ruled Sudan for so long will want to retain influence. I mean, for instance, we've got the paramilitary groups that caused these notorious paramilitary groups that caused a lot of the problems and the insecurity and the killings of protesters. I mean, they remain very powerful, in addition to the fact that in many parts of the country there is still insecurity.
Yes, the head of the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, popularly known as Janjaweed, the head, General Dagalo, popularly called Hemeti, who actually is alleged to be behind, the massacre of June 3rd, right? Is part of the of the Sovereign Council. Okay, so I mean, the military will have some power, but I don't believe that they'll have so much as to have a lasting influence on this transitional government.
Okay, well, beyond the military, what sort of other challenges will the new Sovereign Council and the Prime Minister be facing? Because we know that, for instance, the economy in Sudan has all but collapsed in recent years.
Yes, the economy will be the number one. Well, let me qualify by saying that the ailing economy, will be the number one priority for the incoming transitional government. And then number two, they have to try and make peace with some armed groups within the country, in the southern part of the country and also parts of Darfur. So these are the two major, challenges facing the new government that will be sworn in this weekend. Yeah.
Okay, John, thank you very much indeed. John Ofe Ansah, the African Affairs analyst and publisher of Africa, briefing there, giving us his assessment of the new Sovereign Council that's just been sworn in Sudan.